Mm. You know, you always wonder what the perspective of another is in relation to how they see you. At least I do. At least I do. I send these meaning, it's a little like I started to do these videos called Angels Along the Way. I've been so blessed and privileged to have people in my life that have just impacted me so much. And I've extracted such lessons from people, and so I've always been like my angels along the way, and you're one of them. And, you know, it's funny because I would imagine you don't really have, well, I won't put thoughts in anyone else's head, but our interactions were limited, right? Not over the course of a long period of time. But I've been so privileged in this life, man, to be present when the lesson is right in front of you, what a gift. But I make these videos. This is my best act, my best way of giving flowers to the people that have gifted me something in this life. You know? And I'll try to keep this less than 20 minutes. It might even be way shorter, but I know time is treasured. But this whole message is just a lesson / thanks for being an angel on the way. I appreciate you. Yeah. Self-love, man. This has been a developing. You know, I dropped out of high school 2009. I was 300 pounds. And I dropped out and I was like, man, no role models? What are we doing here? I'll become the role model that I always wanted. Self-development. Hours every single day. Just how can I stretch? And that's been the mission. That's been the game plan since day one. Because fortunately I realized to change the world, to impact the person in front of you, well, you just stretch yourself, you impact yourself, and it's a byproduct. So it's easy. Expand. Go. So I came from that default, you know, nothing good happens to me. Why bother, poor me, right? Use anger as leverage to propel you forward. You know, that rascal masculine, that rascal male personal development route, you know. The one that's not sustainable. And it's a part of the puzzle, right? But it's misguided. Anger was such a driver, such a driving force, such a fuel. And self-love, it's like, bro, come on now. Yeah, of course I love myself. But really, no. Resentment towards myself. Anger to fuel me forward. Anger and resentment towards the world due to an inability to communicate truth from within. And then I remember that phone call. Dylan. What was it, 2023? Seems like you love everyone else. And I'm not making fun of you. You're just a different person other than me talking. Seems like you unconditionally love everyone, but you don't unconditionally love yourself. And I was like, eat shit. Just being honest. I was like, all right. It's probably true. Let's talk about it, dude. You know, you and I, that's kind of like It was a very short relationship. Appreciated, valued in my eyes. But, I was literally homeless. It wasn't working. I spent all this time developing into the person, right? He says, set a goal to become a millionaire, not for the millions, but for the person you must become to attain it. And so who do I want to be has been the mission forever. And then I found myself in this position where I was like, well, shit. I guess I got some more refining to go through. And we all do, always. It's a pursuit, baby. What a privilege to see it that way. And so I went on that self-love. I went down that rut. How do you even do that? What does that even mean? And I think I stumbled into a little bit more of a self-satisfaction arena. And then I grew resentful of the self-love arena, especially when everyone's talking about it. Right? Because I want people to be free. I want people to have a proper aim and design themselves intentionally. I'll leave it at that. It's an in-depth conversation. And I think what happened was the timing of the self-love message, with the timing of being around a good amount of people that were preaching self-love, not you, others. And I was close with a lot of people and they were preaching it, and it was just like, well, self-love's not letting yourself off the hook to give in to desires. What I believe self-love is, as of today. It might sound, I think you'll see what I see. I feel as though it's a marriage within of a masculine side and feminine side of you, right? A union within, an integration of the actual beings internally. It's an internal union of the masculine and feminine, of an individual, of a one, right? And it comes out in so many different ways, but one of the ways is responsibility and service to oneself. But service to oneself is not letting yourself off the hook when you have goals and ideas of aiming up and stepping forward. It's holding yourself to do those when you say you're going to do those. I found myself in trouble because the operator, the masculine inside of me, has said, well, we'll do this. And he didn't. I'll wake up at this time. I'll do this task. I'll follow through on this. And then when I don't, when he doesn't, the feminine within says, whoa, buddy. I thought you were a man of your word. I'm going to step out for a little bit. And now there's a fracture in the internal union, right? Maybe I'm living in the clouds with that thought process, but I see it clear as day. It's almost as tangible as this case. I can hold it. But it's so silly, man. Not really, but somewhat. That whole thought and that whole process and that whole developing in that direction came from that one conversation. That's a thank you. But that's an I appreciate you. That's a you impacted me. Now you get to hold that forever, right? Just as evidence, if you ever slip. I'm sure you have a lot of evidence, though, from a lot of people. But I just wanted to give you those flowers, my friend. I've always been gifted with thinking about people that have just come in and out of my life, stayed in my life, and I think about y'all, right? 'Cause the goal is to be here and develop for us. It's not about me at all. It's just live through me, because I see through me. I'm pretty sure. But I appreciate you, man. Think about you a lot. Praying for you. Trying to do magic stuff for you. I don't know if it's worked yet. It might sound like I'm not making light of anything. I'm being serious. You never know, it's possible, right? To the one who believes. But you've touched many lives, mine included. And that's what this is for. And, yeah, I appreciate you.